So today we're starting a new discussion on the topic of love. Love is something that is an internal realization rather than something that you can put it in words. It's a feeling, it's a bhav that has to come from inside. And love is the most overutilized and underexpressed feeling in the whole world. And whatever we have seen outside is nothing but artificial. It's not a reality of the love. That is a feeling within. So it's like one of the secrets of life. It's something, it's so natural to you, it's very difficult to express. Like if there is a fish in the water, and you ask the fish, how do you describe water? So it will say, well, this is water, that's it. So it's very difficult to come up with the words which is a part of your true existence. If I tell you to describe a breath, it's not that easy. If I tell you to describe existence, well, this is existence, like that. There are no words that you can take from outer planet to describe Earth. You know, it's not, because you are part of it. So once I went to Easton, Pennsylvania. That was my first day. That's where I did my residency. So I took a bus from my hometown in New York to Pennsylvania, and they dropped off on the main bus depot, and then from there I have to take a local bus to go to the hospital for my interview. And I got off, and it was nice. It's in the downtown. It's a beautiful area. It's a very nice, quiet town. So there was a lady standing there, and I asked her, I said, I'm thinking of, coming over here for my residency and things like, what do you think? How is the town? And she couldn't say anything. He says, well, look around, this is Easton. And that's it. That's all she could say. So it's very difficult to express in words what your inner feelings are and things like that. But the way to enjoy, and we all know it does exist, and at the same time it's very difficult to express and put it in words, because the secret of all that is deep within, and that whatever is within, it's not easy to come up with the words to explain what it is.
You just have to feel it.
Exactly. So it can be lived, but it cannot be expressed. And the main job of all these religions of the world was supposedly to make a person more civilized, more loving, more caring, and bring people together. But they have done everything but that. For all these years, religions have created nothing but seeds of hatred. And hatred meaning, it may be totally unintentional. Their message has been, of course, to love each other, peace and harmony and things like that. But by giving you this set of rules and regulations to follow, they have created wrong identities in our minds to make us separate than your fellow human being. And by creating all these rules and regulations that has been preached to us, man has existed, I would say, last million years, and civilizations have come up in last 10,000 years, and religions probably came into existence 5,000 years, and so all these 10,000 years of history, which is nothing, we have come way far from where we used to be part of existence without realizing that we were away from we were not part of that existence, and that's exactly what they have done. Like if we have to express ourselves, and same thing in words, like if you had asked an ancient caveman who used to be just part of the total picture, it would be very difficult for him to come out and say that I am this and I am that. But the self-realizations has started and has been fostered by the religion, saying that you are this, you are this, you are a Jain, you are a Hindu, you are Catholic, you are this. All those things have gone on for thousands of years now. And it has brought us to the point of realization that every single person is totally different, and we're getting isolated little by little by little, and more and more. The more civilized we have become, more isolated we have been. If you go to a tribesman, living in a jungles, and it's very difficult for them to express that they are not part of this nature. For them, the life is a living, breathing process where they are totally synchronized with the rhythm of life. They wake up with the sunrise, they go to bed with the sunset. When the jungle is prosperous, they eat. When the jungle is not prosperous and it sheds its leaves and go into winter, they also kind of hibernate. When the spring comes, they share the joy of the spring with the jungle. So there are like pulse of life is synchronized with the pulse of nature. So when is that much synchronization, it's very difficult for anyone to say that I'm not part of it. They dance when the full moon comes out. They bloom themselves when the flowers are blooming. When the child dies, they accept it as a part of the nature. When the child is born, they are happy. When the child goes, they are not necessarily unhappy because they have seen a bigger picture, not at the intellectual level, but at the feeling level, at the bhav level. That's what they are inside. So if you ask them a question, who are you? It will be very difficult for them to come out. And for them, they will not see any difference between themselves and a honeybee gathering honey from the flowers, or another animal like a monkey or anything trying to survive. They will not see much of a difference. So that's the realization that we have to have. And unfortunately, the more civilized we have come so far from that possibility of realizations, that internal feeling of love is almost ready to die out. All we see is nothing but hatred. You see pages and pages of CNN.com. You see nothing but pages of hatred. Somebody trying to murder someone, somebody trying to hate someone, somebody trying to rape someone. What have we done? In all these years, love has nothing but smothered in our inside process, right? So who would you call responsible? Who is responsible for this? Unfortunately, if you really look at the bigger picture, the same entity that we had created to teach love to kind of uncivilized people is the same entity which has nothing but bigotry and hatred has been created out of those our organizations which were supposed to create love for each other. So the people who we thought were uncivilized and now they should be taught how to become civilized, we're really pulling them out of that synchronization and then giving them message of love, and saying that all people are equal. They already knew that. And now we are trying to tell them, yes, but you are more equal than this. If you become a Christian, you are more equal than people who are Hindus. You are a little better than them. And that has fostered a wrong message. So a time has come that we really should realize this and go down to our basic roots and realize where this feeling of love exists. The love that we call love is only an artificial flower that you can get. It's a plastic flower. It looks pretty. You can talk about it. You can discuss it in the groups or gatherings. You can make a big politics out of it. You can make big fights out of it. But it's not now. When we say that God bless America, what's wrong with Iraqi? Why just American people? Why God is supposed to bless only Americans? And people are people. So all those things, identifications, have created problems, and the meaning, the basic message of love has been lost in these things. So sometimes you feel that animals and plants and flowers are more able to share love and express love rather than us quote and unquote civilized people. So civilization has created only artificial lifestyle, and that actually has caused more harm than help. At least a person who is uncivilized is expressing himself to the extent of whatever he is, but we are not what we are inside, and yet we are artificially creating. So it's creating a dichotomy, and dichotomy where the mind is required. Mind lives a dual life, that yes, inside I am this, but outside I have to be like this, so that there is a constant friction. Your feelings inside may be totally different, but the outside, it is being prevented from expressing yourself. So we have to realize that the tree of life has grown from within to outside. Whatever we call sansar, or whatever we call society, whatever we call life, it has come from inside and has expressed outside. Is bhav, vichar, and kriya. Whatever our inner feelings are becomes thoughts, and thoughts generates an action. So when we focus on nothing but expressed portion of our unmanifested within, we are just washing the flowers and washing the leaves to make this jungle or garden beautiful. There is a story of Mao Zedong, who was a Chinese leader. When he was a kid, he writes in his book that one time my mother got very sick, and so sick that she could not get out of bed for 2 weeks. And so I was young at that time, and I told my mom that, don't worry, I'll take care of your garden. I'll take care of every single plant. And he did that. For 2 weeks, he went outside, watered all the flowers, watered all the plants. He washed them. He removed all the dirt from them. He hugged each plant. He gave love, because for his mother, the garden was her life. So he said that, don't worry, Mom, I'll give plenty of love, feelings, and hugs, and everything to this garden, what it needs. And yet, at the end of 2 weeks, when Mom came out, the whole garden was almost ready to die.
Right.
So what went wrong? You ask yourself. According to him, the watering the leaves was enough. Watering the flowers was enough. He never watered the roots. So on one hand, mother was so upset that her garden was about ready to die. And at the same time, she realized the innocence and foolishness at the same time of your own child that was taking care of the garden as he saw, not realizing the flowers don't need to be watered, the leaves don't need to be watered, the roots need to be watered. This is where the whole garden has sprung from. Even though you don't see the roots, they are unmanifest. They are deep within. When you take care of
very
within,
good story. Yeah.
Very good story.
Very good.
When you take care of within, the outside, the without, is already taken care of. But all these religions which have been preaching the love has been preaching in a wrong fashion. They tell you you love your neighbors. At the same time, at the root level, they tell you you're different. They have hammered and hammered time and time again that you are this, you are this, you are this. They have created compartments in your minds. And these compartments themselves are a hindrance in the process of love. Just because I know that I am a man, I look at myself that I am different than a woman. Religions will teach you also. Jainism says that men are entitled to moksha, not women. Silly.
Yeah,
but that's how their thinking has been. That for females to reach to moksha or nirvana, they have to be born as a man. Now what kind of silly argument can that be? Women are just as equal part of this society or this nature or this is unlimited consciousness as men are. But by creating these compartments, we have nothing but created our own roadblocks to the passage to the love, right? So it's like, if we had kept our own true nature to ourselves, we won't have any problem respecting women, or men or women respecting
or
men,
anybody,
or respecting anybody.
Yeah.
But now with the created artificial hindrances, it's like when the Ganga, river Ganges, comes out of the Himalayan mountains, all it has to do is express itself, follow the gravity. If any obstructions come on the way, the big boulders come out. They are obstructions too, but inner strength of the waters of Ganges finds its way around those boulders, but finds its way and ultimately makes it to the ocean. It's a natural process. It has an inner strength, an inner ability to reach to its final destination. Nobody has to tell Ganges, and nobody has to write pages and pages and books of scriptures. Ganges, go this way, go that way. It does not need set of instructions. We are destined to reach Paramatma. But the only time we create dams, the artificial dams to harness the energy of the Ganges, the river Ganges get confused. Where do I go? But if it was in a natural process, you never see river Ganges walking and asking the sadhus and all these ministers and priests, where should I go to reach Paramatma? Why do you need instructions to reach Paramatma? Love for you and me is a human love that we can express in our daily life. But when we realize that we are nothing but total in synchronization with the whole nature, your love for the whole nature, the whole consciousness, whole sansar, is a realization of Paramatma. So the same love at the micro level is a love with a fellow human being, love with wife, love with your lover, love with your child. But when you make it unlimited, infinite, that's true merging with the Paramatma. Only artificial